What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Strong Art, aka Isu the Guru, back with another video. Tonight, I want to be discussing a little bit of my opinions in regard to the situation going on over in Afghanistan. Seeing as how I was just there back in November, I don't really want to date the video, but right now it's August, and I think the world knows right now, unless you've been living under a rock, that the troops are actually getting out of there for real this time. And as we can see, it's literally chaos that's starting to take place. If you're paying attention to the news, they're talking about how in Kabul, flights are heading out of there. The Afghanis are literally hanging off of the landing gear, trying to hold on to get out of Afghanistan. My perspective about it is going to relate to how being in tune, how not doubting yourself, how listening to the inner voice I am is usually and always leading you in the right direction. I mean, what am I saying? Always leading you in the right direction. Having faith in it, which is what I talk about, is exactly the right thing you're supposed to be doing. Having faith in it, meaning faith in yourself, faith in your passions, faith in the inner you that knows what it truly wants and knows what it truly needs to do. As it relates to me, I was out there contracting, I was working, and I was out there. I was never really too adamant about literally having to be out there again, because I was out there as a soldier before. A little bit of my background, was in the military. I did 8 years, got out, and eventually went back over there to contract for a while as a Apache mechanic. That was my job. And while I was out there, hey, contracting as a civilian, it's a different ball game. It's a little bit different. Same environment, but kind of different lifestyle for you, basically. All the while, for me, I was never really too much I was never really too big on like being out in Afghanistan again and whatever. But just like most people who are out there, pay is great. Can't really fight that too much, but the lifestyle and where you are, it's only gonna be a matter of time. That's why I tell people who want to contract, honestly, it's gonna come down to how long you can deal with the conditions. But to each his own. That depends on the person. But as it relates to the topic, I was out there and I got to a point to where it felt like I was just going through the motions, like I was doing my job, I was doing what I was supposed to do, but I was a little bit uneased. I was uneased. I was kind of a little disgruntled because I just was like, man, I'm out here doing this job. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I enjoy the benefits of what I do. I get to travel every 3 months. I can basically go anywhere in the world, and the job I'm work, of course, takes care of the financial end of it, so money isn't really a problem. Obviously, hey, 6-figure job, you're just like, bro, ain't no issue. I can go anywhere and do whatever I want. But even that wasn't what I necessarily wanted. What I wanted was to be able to achieve this lifestyle, or basically do it on my own terms. And I was trying to figure out a way to maintain the way I was living, but do it to where it's because of or as a result of my passions or my interests in life, or things that I've built and created. So like I said, as time goes on, I'm still trying to figure things out. And I felt like, I was really starting to tell other people, or they were asking me about how to achieve certain things in life, and I was realizing that I'm not really where I want to be either. So as I started to get more and more, we'll say, anxious about my next move. I was in the middle of one of my, let's say, the last vacations, because now we're talking about this is right before the COVID happened. And right before COVID happened, I'm vacationing. I'm out in Rio, and you know, it's literally in the middle of like Carnival. Carnival's, you know, going on. Obviously I had to leave. That was upsetting, but I had to go. And as I'm leaving Rio, which is always hard for anybody who's been there, heading back in Afghanistan of all places, something told me, you need to figure this out. You need to hurry up, stop playing, figure out what you're going to do, because Afghanistan ain't finna last, and you know it ain't. You know you need to get out of here. Something was telling me that you need to get your extra strategy in order. I had no direct intel that was telling me anything. Nobody in the higher up in the company or anything was telling me this. This was all purely me and listening and reflecting on what I really wanted and what my intuition was telling me to do. And a lot of it was telling me, you need to hurry up, because this is borrowed time. You're on borrowed time. Like I said, no outside evidence really telling me that. All intuition telling me you're on borrowed time. You need to get out of here. And sure enough, I got back, landed, and let's see, I got back out there, got back to work, and I want to say about 2 weeks later, the lockdowns start to happen. So the whole entire operations, the day to day, really start to change. I'm already in a location that's quote unquote quarantined. To be technically quarantined within a quarantine was something else. And plus, vacation shut down. Nobody was moving. Like, nothing was happening. Everything straight shut down for like, dude, let me see, February. Yeah, so at that point, it kind of basically started around end of February for us. And all the way up until that time, nobody was on vacations, nothing was moving. And from February to November, didn't go nowhere, locked in, locked down, just out there. But let me tell you what got me to November is because I started to see the writing on the wall. COVID, to me, made it speed up my decision. Because at first I was thinking about possibly staying out here for another maybe couple years. I'm like, well, crap. Damn. I'm already getting the money I want. I'm already traveling to places I want to travel. Well, damn. Let me just stay out here, keep making this bread. Let me just keep making this money. That was the false. See, that was the dream. That was the half of me was in that dream. And the other half was saying, no, nah, wake your ass up. Stop playing. You know what time it is. Don't believe this. This is false. Don't lull yourself to sleep. This is purely imagination. Okay? This charade that you're living in right now, shit's false. It ain't finna last very long. You can feel it. So I had always felt like something was coming, right? That I needed to move and do something else, right? I needed to figure it out, right? And sure enough, throughout the COVID lockdowns, everything in the information chain of our company, I won't say the company, but our company was haywire. We were trying to figure out, are we hearing intel? Like, are we supposed to be, what's supposed to be happening? Are we supposed to be possibly moving to another location from the original place we were located at, the original fob we were located at? Are we supposed to be moving here? Are people supposed to be coming to us? What's going on with the aircraft? Like, what's going on, right? Information started to get jacked up. The communication started to get jacked up. And just everything around me just started to somewhat, the structure that I was leaning on as far as a cohesive place to environment to be in, literally slowly but surely started to crumble in my mind. I saw my quiet little fob start to turn into just this small place of chaos and madness, man. Because the place I was at was very small, very quiet. We did our jobs and went home. We're away from the flagpole, so to speak, like the higher echelons of the company. We weren't near them. We were at a separate location, so we were just a team of like 10 of us. and we just did what we did every day, and nobody messed with us. But I started to see my quiet little fob start to turn into a hellhole, man. And I'm just like, bro, this shit's got to change. Like, dude, what is this? On top of that, I started to see more and more. Even the Air Force at one point came in and showed up at our, at our place. Had never been there, bringing in their equipment, and literally, it got to the point by the end of it, they kicked us out of our hangar. They were moving stuff around, building up all kind of stuff in the name of the Air Force, and they didn't care who had anything to say about it. It was nuts, man. We had a locale for our terminal that was set up. Air Force kicked them guys up out of there, set up their stuff in there. Like, it started to get crazy, and I'm thinking, like, something's going on that's outside of COVID. COVID happened, but from my vantage point, what I see, things are happening in tangent or with COVID. COVID is the overall trigger that sets something off, but this isn't necessarily because of COVID. This is happening with COVID. It's not like due to the virus now all this is happening. No, it's more like because the virus is going on, we're going to use this as cover to start moving faster. And when it got right down to it, one of the fobs, bigger fobs, shut down, and we had guys come down to us. And well, before I get there, I'll say, as far as keeping faith in I am, let me tell you, as I started to see things move, I remember having this conversation with my mom, because one day I think I woke up and I had an epiphany. And no, let me go back. Actually, let me give props and respect to Bob Proctor, because I started really getting into his teachings and understanding about how to really, when you want something, you have to get into it emotionally and physically, right? You have to get into it. And he also helped me to start my business and, really make it official, because I've always had the ideas, but he literally helped motivate me to start my LLC legit, legally, and go forward with my dream, go at it, regardless of anyone else's opinion. Go at it, go get it. I was studying other teachers, of course, but he was one of the ones that really helped me to execute in the physical world beyond what they tell you in the book, The Secret. He talked to me more about how to execute and get the secret done. So I was just kind of pondering. I was studying more. I really started to go over what is holding me back. And the main thing that I realized was holding me back, because now I'm starting to be, like I said before this point, I'm a little bit more disgruntled at work. I'm getting into it with my coworkers. I'm just like, trying to figure out, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? The problem that I figured out is that I had not made a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, understand the power of decision. And they say that the devil is when you are in doubt, dismay, and indecision, because you're coming from a place of weakness and lack of faith. Lack of faith in I am. Lacking faith in yourself. Lacking faith in the God. Lacking faith in Most High, Yahweh, the universe, the ancestors, whatever you want to call your higher spiritual faculties. That is the true devil. So this red longhorn beast is not your devil. The true devil sleeps in bed with you at night. The true devil whispers in your ears and say, no, you need to stay here for money because you have no other option. The true devil tells you you're not good enough. The true devil is what will lead you to laying on your deathbed as your dreams and goals look at you and stand around you as you fade away and say, why didn't you trust in us? The true devil leads you down that path. You didn't try. You lacked ambition, courage, and conviction. That's the true devil who takes you that route. So then what's the opposite? The true passion, the true God is within you that leads you to who and what you really are. So as I continue to say, when I made the decision of when I would leave, everything fell into place because I went out there with initially 2 goals when I first went to Afghanistan. It was, one, I want to come home with 6 figures in the bank, and I also want my debts paid off. It was already done. It was already done before I even realized it. For the small time I was out there, I was going through all this strife and struggle internally, mentally, trying to beat my brain up about what I wanted, oh man, I need to figure out how to make multiple, streams of income. But my initial goal had already been done. I hadn't even realized it. And at this point, I think this was earlier, I want to say it about March time frame, possibly. March, maybe a little later than March. I can't remember exactly when it was. But I remember the phone call. I called back home to my mom's and I told her, because that's where my things were. I said, hey, I made the decision. Or, well, actually, initially it was a text, and I said, I'm paying my car off. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm paying my car off. Send her a text. I said, let's do it. Let's pay the car off. And I was working with her because she was my conduit to the bank and helping me do stuff on the ground, obviously, because I'm overseas, and I gave her my information so she could, do stuff for me while I'm gone, working with the bank. And I told her, I said, you know what? Or I texted her, I said, paying off the car. Let's do it. She was like, what? She was so excited. She was surprised. I was like, whoa, where'd this come from? She called me up immediately. She was excited. She says, oh, what got in you? I said, Mom, I had an epiphany. So I made the decision. I'm paying off my car and I'll be coming home in October. Stuck to it. Confidence right there. Shifted. And let me tell you something, because she will probably remember this conversation, and people around me will probably remember this conversation, because I had it with my homeboys and my brothers, and I told them exactly the same thing. If you ask them, they'll probably remember. When I was talking to them on the phone, they said, what got into you? I said, I made the decision. I said, I'm paying off my car note and I'm coming home. I'm not doubting anything anymore. I'm paying off my bills, my debts. I'm coming home. I already had the money I wanted to make. It was already done. I just had to claim it. The money was already there for me to do what I needed to do. I only had so much left on my car to pay off. Well, maybe like $12,000 or so to pay off on my car. Boom, done. It was already been in the bank. Been in the bank at this point of me in my contract. Been in the bank. And I slowly started to take my mind off the goal. See? Because doubt started to slowly pull me away from my initial purpose. My initial purpose had already been done, but I had not perceived it. Therefore, it didn't exist. Right? See that? Mentalism. All is mind. Right there. And as soon as I claimed it and acknowledged it in the physical existence to be done, everything around me started to not only verify that I had made the right decision, but also help me to pursue my next goal. I mean, things around my location of the fob I was working at. Now I'm speaking to how the Air Force started showing up. They kicked us out of our hangar. We could barely work. Everything just really started to go crazy. I mean, it literally started to shift into a whole different environment, right? It literally started to shift into a whole different environment. Everything around me told me, you need to get the hell out of here. Your job is done. You need to go. You're not supposed to be here. And I felt it in every fiber of my being. Matter of fact, the guys I work with could probably tell, like, yo, something's off with Chris. They're just like, I don't know, man. He just, and this is, they would say, oh man, feel like he don't care. He don't care. He just whatever. He don't care about it. When you're in a and just side note, when you're working at a place where your coworkers can tell or they can see that you don't really have the effort to be there, you don't want to work to be there, you need to get out of that place. Unless you have a very specific goal or reason why you're doing there to help you to get to something else, more often than not, you need to get the hell out of there. Because I'm going to tell you what, you're in the wrong place if you're working a job that you don't care to be at the top of. If you don't care to achieve higher goals and make it to the next level of that job, you're in the wrong job. You know you are. You know you are, because you know where you want to be. But doubt, fear, and indecision has told you to go a separate direction because you need to be in a competitive mind state versus a creative mind state. I'll say that again. When you're in a competitive mind state, you're usually working with energies that are working against you, because you're trying to fit like another cog in the wheel because you're competing with the other cogs. But when you step out of that mindset and become a creator, meaning create the reality that you want to create, you are untouchable. You see what I'm saying? You are on another level. They can't fuck with you now. And so I created the term itself. I created my own business. Oh shit. Damn. Wow. And the only thing they can say is, what do you do and how much are you making? Because you're no longer in competition with them. When you kill competition, you birth the beginning of imagination. Now the imagination takes over. And who and what is imagination? We've said it before, the great I am. The you that is connected to you, because now you're drawing from a higher power. When in your creative state, you're drawing from the ether, you're drawing from the universe. See what I mean? You're drawing from a different area now. Something that goes beyond the physical comprehension of most people. See what I'm saying? You're tapped in. Shout out to Abraham Hicks. You're tapped in, tuned on. See what I mean? You're locked in. What she calls in the vortex. You're in one. You're with the Most High, the Creator. The Creator. Okay? The Creator is the Creator because you are the Creator incarnate in the flesh. That's why you create in this physical existence. Because it is in your nature to create. That's what you do. You create. When you compete, you put yourself at a lesser spot at a disadvantage. Now you're in structured, confined, coming from a place of weakness. Okay? Now then, understand that as things started to change for me out there, I made the decision of when I would go, and also that it was done. I said it is done. I said it was done. I am said it was done. And so be it, it was, and it came to pass that it was done. And I left in November, early November. Made the decision and I stuck with it. I was asked to stay, possibly consider, but everyone around me said, yeah, all right then, come on home. And sure enough, I've been thriving ever since. I've still been able to travel. My network and my business has only blossomed and bloomed, and my business has continued to grow. I've gotten even stronger in my mind state of my art skills and my business acumen, if you will. Everything that I've set out to do, I am doing because I am. And now as we look back over into Afghanistan, we see the chaos. We see the chaos of what's going on. But now it's an unprecedented level of we need to get the hell out of here. You see what's going on in Afghanistan? You see how they're leaving? That's the urgency I had 8 months ago. More than 8 months ago now. That's the urgency I had then. That's how it felt. Now it came to fruition in the physical world. Now people probably feel like I felt back then on wanting to get out of Afghanistan that bad. But you see how when you're locked in, intuition will tell you way ahead of time how to avoid danger. Shout out to my guys who might still be back there working. serving, doing what's best for this country. Hats off to you, gentlemen. Keep going. You got it. I ain't mad at you. And yes, while I was leaving, because you have to turn in your paperwork ahead of time. While I was leaving, there were others who took heed of what I was saying and said, yeah, we need to get out of this place. It ain't the greatest. We see the writing on the wall. Because there's something that goes beyond just money. And, oh, they're paying me this amount, so I'll stay out here because the pay's good. You're paying for compliance. Or in your accepting of the pay, you are complying with whatever happens next. Just so you know that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's something that in alchemy we call equivalent exchange. I'm going to say that again. That's something that we call in alchemy equivalent exchange. Meaning, you agreed to stay out here and get paid. Meaning, you agree to whatever happens next as a result of you staying here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to think more into the metaphysical. The universe is always speaking. Your internal self is always telling you. I am is always speaking. God is always telling you. Why not listen? They've been saying it for centuries. When God speaks, listen. I saw the train coming on the track a long time ago. I saw the train coming 8 months away. And I saw he was moving towards me very slowly. And I said, instead of staying here and letting the train hit me, I'm going to step off the track. Whoa. Imagine that. Rocket science, right? Now, it is unfortunate the situation that we see overseas right now in Afghanistan. To whatever happens next is what happens next. But guys, my main point and my overall point is when you are locked into your intuition, it won't fail you. It won't fail you. Okay? Doubt and fear is what will fail you, because doubt and fear will keep you locked into a situation like that. Doubt and fear will have you struggling to find a ride, to find a chariot to take you away from the chaos. That's what doubt, fear, and indecision does. So guys, this is exactly why it's so important to understand who you are, have faith in it, go for your passions, go for your goals, go for your dreams. There's no reason not to. And this is a testament as to what happens when you stay still. Guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on the Cash App if you support what your boy is doing. Cash App is at Chris Strong Art. And go ahead and let your boy know, that you like what's going on here, you support it, and I'll see you guys on another video. Peace, guys.